What up, guys? I'm playing an Orc Mirror, and I'm reminded of this really cool happenstance, this cool experience way back in the day. Hailing from a small country like the Netherlands, being granted an equal amount of spots in qualifiers felt like quite an advantage. Because here is the Netherlands, 17 million inhabitants, and you've got big countries like America, Germany, France, and tournaments like the World Cyber Games and the Electronic Sports World Cup would give 1, 2, or 3 spots per country. So only 2 or 3 Americans get to go to an international tournament and to gain some valuable live experience where you get to see how other people play Warcraft 3. But I got to play... I pretty much auto-qualified for every event that I played. I believe in all of my 11 years in esports active competition, I don't think I ever lost a Dutch qualifier. Both in Warcraft 7 years and in StarCraft 4 years. And sometimes it was hard, especially the StarCraft qualifiers were quite challenging with Red and Hearthstone and so on. But it always worked out with some luck. I did lose one Benelux qualifier once for StarCraft, but it was technically not just the Netherlands qualifier. But there was one guy from the Netherlands that was able to beat me repeatedly, even though I was more internationally successful, maybe better at most matchups, but he was an Orc Mirror specialist with a different style, one that I didn't like as much. It was very aggressive. I like a nice, slow, polite game, you know? A bit of polite creeping, none of that scoundrelly harassment and fighting. But this guy, called Rotterdam, Kevin de Koning, he had this special style where he didn't play the standard meta of Grunts, Raiders and Walkers. No. Instead of a Spirit Walker building, which was then the Lodge but is now the Totem. But anyway, instead of the Lodge, he went for a second Beastery. And then he would make a Raider and Ensnare at the same time. Instead of one Raider then Ensnare, which meant he would have one Raider with Ensnare when I have no Ensnare, and he'll have 3 Raiders when I have 1 Raider with Ensnare. So you can kind of see how that would be an advantage. He had a lot more control of the battle, and while I did have damage mitigation via the Walker, Walkers deal reduced damage on Raiders, because it's magic versus medium. And Walkers have unarmored status. And Raiders do siege damage, which does bonus on unarmored status. So, although I never lost any qualifiers against Rotterdam, I did lose a bunch of international tournaments. One of them was the clan-based Euro Cup. I believe this was in 2006. I believe it was in 2006. What you want? For my ancestors. And I played against him there. It was for like 2,000 euros. Nice. Denied. Killed his. Denied the deny. And it was actually in the Netherlands, the clan-based Euro Cup. I don't know if I said that yet. Got distracted with the micro a bit. And he won it. And I think I lost 1 or 2 other tournaments against him as well. And it was quite a struggle for me to try to counter his build. And I finally kind of managed to do it with Tauren Chieftain first. Now you can kind of see where the story came from. You see, we both played Blade Shadow, and he would have loads of Raiders. And then he would do a lot of Walker focus, Raider focus, and then eventually Hero focus. So I had this game against him where I tried to solve his strat. Instead of trying to match him with the same build, I went for different heroes. It was a great risk, an enormously stupid risk. For my ancestors, God. For my ancestors. And I went Torrent Chieftain first, something people never do. Torrent Chieftain first, because I figured he's got this one comfortable build that works really well against me. He's gonna do it again no matter what. So I did something I had never even practiced before. I just suddenly got the idea as I sat down. I thought, what if I go Torrent Chieftain first? There's a certain expectation that we both start by creeping. Generally, he fulfilled this. I thought, what if I just get 2 heroes that are really good at splash damage and staying alive? What if I get Howl of Terror?
Please check replay later if you managed to cancel salve/clarity with blind storm.
Yeah, yeah. I think we did. I'll check it. That's a good call. But what if I go for both War Stamp and Howl of Terror? Reduce his damage, which stops his mass hero focus plan a bit. And then I just go for the same build as usual, Grunt Raider Walker. And my god, did it work out like a charm. It was such a risk because never went for something like that. And it worked. The only time I think I ever went Torrent Chieftain first in a pro game. And it was a complete on-the-spot invention. And I had lost quite a few Blade Shadow mirrors. That's what I love about an RTS. When strategy solves. Wow, normally I would really mind finding this many rings, but with strength heroes, rings is actually the best.
Say the word. I am the one. My ancestors. I dreamed of this. Yes, chieftain. I stand ready. Done. Ready to ride. An excellent plan. Yes, chieftain. For my ancestors. What shall they be? What do you want? We're under attack! Need something. Say the word. Something to do it. Yes, chieftain. I am not enough mana. Yes. Trickery is this. Ready to ride.
And it works now too. GG. What was better, the game or the story? Or neither? GG, well played.
I am one.
Both together? Okay. Let's check out the replay to see if the blind cancel worked. The story. I gotta check the replay. How about making all 3 tankier at once? What do you mean? I didn't realize you were going to the same stories as the same heroes as the story. Yeah, that was a bit of a beat around the bush story, wasn't it? Let's see. Did we get this around? Did we get the stomp, I mean?
GG.
GG. Thanks, man. Here we go. Yeah. That. That's tasty. That is tasty. Minus 70. Okay. It cost me mana, but my clarity continued running, and it cost him mana and health and money. So I think it's worth it. How come we didn't take him out of stealth? Oh, Shadow Melt gets taken out of stealth when you War Stomp. But Windwalk does not. As far as I know, the only way to pull a Blade Master out of stealth is via Storm, Earth and Fire, Earth Panda Taunt or Mountain Giant Taunt, aka Taunt. I think those are the only ways to pull a blade out of stealth. The Shadow Melt is a channel, yes. It's a channeled ability. Do you remember the clan-based tournament in Aarhus, Denmark? Also a few years later? Yup. It was you versus Roddy. Oh shit! No, that's the one I lost. No, it wasn't in the Netherlands. That's the one. Clan-based tournament in Aarhus, Denmark. It was you versus Roddy in the finals. I was there, didn't get a chance to say hi. Yeah, that's the one I lost. Ah, then what was the tournament in the Netherlands? Clan-based? No, clan-based. There was a tournament. It's also clan-based in the Netherlands, but there was no finals of Grubby versus Rotterdam. I think Hot and Zeus were there, and I was not near the finals. Yeah, there was 2 clan-based tournaments. I did not go far in the Netherlands. For me, I had a mental issue playing the clan-based tournament in the Netherlands. You know why? Everyone has their rhythm. Everyone has the way that they get into the zone. This is often based on superstition, but also on good habits. For instance, it's a good habit to empty your bowels before doing a marathon run. Not just because of superstition, but it's easier to walk, less weight, and etc. Likewise, it can be a good habit to do certain things like eat banana or walnuts rather than a thick walloping of kebab with mayonnaise before playing. Not only is it a tradition to eat like brain foods, but it actually helps. So some things are superstition, some things are real, right? Whatever they are, even mentality is real. So if you think it works, it probably works. So one thing, there was a couple of things I always did when I went on tournaments. I always went to get a haircut on the Thursday or Friday before the event. Technically, it's a risky play, because if they cut you into an uneven bowl cut the day before, you've got no time to regenerate your hairline. So doing a haircut before traveling instead of like 2 weeks in advance doesn't feel like a good play, like a high expected value outcome play. But haircuts are also symbolic. They're symbolic of new beginnings. A lot of times when people in movies have like a breakup or a Breaking Bad moment or a midlife crisis, they go cut their hair like, and then they feel like a new person afterwards. So I think it kind of had that function for me as well, a kind of new beginning moment. And yeah, I liked it. So haircuts for me were kind of mental reset. And the other one is traveling. I had to physically travel to the tournament. And that meant a mandatory break from playing. Because voluntarily I never stopped playing Warcraft 3. But traveling, I had no choice. And that break is what, of course, sports psychologists find very important as well. And that you should normally also induce organically, or artificially, I should say. You should induce breaks artificially in order to give your brain time to process and to focus on some drudgery tasks so that you can let your subconsciousness continue learning and whatnot, and to put things in perspective. That's why I sometimes take breaks from Dota 2 as well. Not because I don't like playing, but it makes me better. When I come back, I'm hungrier as well. And the travel to tournaments often did that for me. So when I played the clan base in the Netherlands, instead of doing my usual haircut and then packing my bag and then traveling, I just took a train. 30 minutes later, I'm at the tournament. And I was still practicing that very morning. So I never got the mental reset that all these symbolic routines normally offered me. And because of that, I never mentally got into the game. I played as if I was in my own backyard. Which, if you live in the Netherlands, and you are in the Netherlands, you almost are. So I really... had I known that, had I been my own coach, if I could go back be my own coach for now, I would induce a mandatory no play day if I have a tournament in the Netherlands, and still go and get that haircut the day before, just to put myself back in the mindset of it. GG, see you next time. It's up to the grub.